I know like trouble. One man thing is another man's struggle. Money no day today. Money go day tomorrow. Feel good, it's a happy day. Pretty, 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 pretty. You go to do pass yourself. Pretty, 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 pretty. No go to do pass yourself. Low, low. Younger go we come. Do today, forget tomorrow. Feel good, it's a happy day. Pepe, 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 pepe. Shout out to my boy, it's Daniel. Pass yourself. Pepe, 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 pepe. Definitely no go to do pass yourself. Pepe, pepe. No go to do pass yourself. Pepe, 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 pepe. Definitely no go to do pass yourself. So you may come. Me self go make come too. I know come with your banku. Yeah, yeah. Londa mueda o. Ega shomrere tiadara o. Pepe, 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 pepe. No go dey do pass yourself. Pepe, 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 pepe. No go dey do pass yourself. Shanu. Shout out to Daniel, my boy. Shout out, shout out, shout out to Daniel, my boy. You're doing great. As a matter of fact, good evening, everyone. Good evening. I was in the midst of women my age tonight a while ago, and I was surprised when we started talking about the R&B. Please give me a shout out if the volume is okay. Give me a thumbs up. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's a short video, very short one for us parents, and I'm glad that I am seeing mothers and fathers especially. Good evening, good evening, good evening. You're welcome. Good evening, everyone. Very quickly, I was in the midst of, invite, I don't know, somebody is asking. If you want to join the show, it's okay. It's all right, and we got talking. Thank you, Samiat Yunusa. Thank you, my darling. Yes, hello, Jibril Musa. Can I help you?
Yeah, I just
wanted to join the video.
I've been, just to say I appreciate.
It's a very short video. Sorry, you want to see regarding? Hello. Hello, Mr. Jibril. That person isn't talking. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Haji Dis, hey, Babao. Good evening, Haji Dis. Shola Kimboye, good evening. Shola Bikoye, good evening. Angus George, good evening. Aziza Yusuf. It's going to be a program in English, and it's a very short video. Rafiat Bolanlio Yebanji, Yao. Ebony Beauty, good evening. Chris Fati, good evening, good evening. You're there alone. Your husband is gone to work. Don't worry. Sister Inka Bisola, good evening. Ma Semiat Yunusa, my lovely darling, good evening, good evening. Jibril Musa, that was you. Thank you, thank you. Taufik Audrey, thank you, Okomi. Thanks for joining in. Yes, very quickly. I was out earlier and I was in the midst of women my age group, and we got talking about Nigerian R&B, and this was it. Kiss Daniel was featuring, and I said, you know what? His new record that came out a couple of days ago, I have been playing it non-stop, and I can sing it from the top of my head. You know, it only shows that our boys are doing really good. The other day, it was Wizkid and Davido that brought glory to Nigeria and Africa. We must give it to them. Congratulations, Nigeria. Congratulations, Wizkid. Congratulations, Davido. Congratulations to all of you, boys and girls. You're doing great. Just for the younger generation to know that what is it? You can have clothes like the older person, but you may not possibly have rags like the older person. Arubo Shogeri Lonjebe. Which is why I am giving credit to Kiss Daniel. It's a very good song, very sensible, you know, very, very sensible song there. And I've been enjoying it in the last few days that it came out. But tonight, we're going to be talking about pair grooming. It is called pair grooming. And we observed, my friends and I got talking, we observed that a lot of us parents were not really looking into it, and it is actually eating deep into our communities. We shall be taking it one step after the other, but once again, for 2 minutes, let's enjoy Daniel's No Do. Just 2 minutes, I think it's 2 minutes 40 something seconds. Bear with me. Let's give it to the boys doing it. Let's give it to them. Bonsoir, Sherifatu Ayobami. Bonsoir. Thank you, Taufik Kodri. Thank you very much. Hajia Sophia Kuforalanike. Good evening. Thank you. Yeah. Just very, very quickly, and we go to the crux of the matter. That's Kiss Daniel for you once again. Please go and listen to it in your privacy. It's a sensible song. I like it. Coming from 20-something-year-old young man. We must give it to them when they do it. Skip ad. One man's think is another man's struggle. Today, money go day tomorrow. Feel good, it's a happy night. Pepe. They do. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa ṣe kọjá ara wa ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Pepe. Dekule, no go dey do pass yourself. You go do loud. Trouble they sleep, younger go wake am. Forget tomorrow. Má kọjá ìyẹn ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Feel good, it's a happy night. Pepe. No go dey do pass yourself. Pepe. Jẹ́ njó fún àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi. No go dey do pass yourself. No go dey do pass yourself. Pepe. Oh, no go dey do pass yourself. Say you make am o, me sef go make am too. Good evening. Yeah. Hello. Yes, ẹ kálẹ́ o. Àmì Ọlọ́run. Àmì. Alhamdulillah. Oh, Mr. Rahim, ẹ kálẹ́. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́, ẹ kú afẹ́rẹ́ yìí. Ṣé ẹ rò tútù? Good. I'm glad pé wà online. Àwọn parents la fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀ quickly. Ara wa la fẹ́ bá sọ̀rọ̀. A kàn ní pé ká fún ọmọ wa tó kọ orin tó dá yìí ní credit ni. So, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bẹ́tò lọ. Thank you for your compliments. Thank you very much, sir. ẹ ṣé mo dúpẹ́ sà. There we go. Ló ń dààmú ẹ̀dá o, ẹ̀dá ṣe ohun rere tí á dára o. Pepe, no go dey do pass yourself. No go dey do the thing wey no concern you. Pass yourself, ṣàánú. Give it up for Boy Kiss. Give it up for Boy Kiss. Boy Kiss. Boy Kiss. Boy Kiss. Well done there, Boy Kiss. There we go. Anyway, yes. We're gonna start in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Good evening. Welcome everyone to Talktotomi. Tonight is Showgirl. As you know, Aulat Uluatomi Sinsuli, reaching out to you from London. Abereni Orúkọ Ọlọ́run Ọba. Abrekelu Bismillah Araman Arohim Abrelulu Kolon Oba Eledumare. That is that. Olorun awa pẹ̀lú wa, asiwa through it. Like I said, there's something that is going on in our communities that I observed. I've been to homes and I see, you know, the way. Thank you, Ola Univ. Daddy John Ogronela, good evening. Buonasera, signora. Buonasera. Jamilu Lawal, good evening. Lady Thomas Oshibogun. Oremio. Hello, my pretty good friend. Yes, that's my sister Rashida Jibola Bale. Thank you. She got my invite. Thank you. Tea Spices. Thank you. Yes, we used to be once like you. We used to go to the clubs. We used to do all of that, and we still do, you know, if need be. Sister Denike Lawal Shekoni, good evening. Looking good as usual. I'm also enjoying your swags. I ain't got no swags. I'm copying you a lot. Thank you very much. That's my biggie. That's my brother. Ademile Bakre, Infinity Textiles. How are you? Omwelukumede Baba Twale Muwadada Aduke Follow Alhamdulillah Best J Starboy. Good evening. Thank you very much. Like I said, I've been to homes and I've seen how, you know, some of our children relate to parents. And I thought deep, you know, and I thought deep, I said, you know what? Oh, thank you, my sister Eboluwa. Yami, Shedadani, Eboluwa, Ayokade, Adetola, good evening, Ekale, Ekabo. And I thought, hang on a minute. There's only so much of Tomwe Kole Fuenisimi that we can be saying, you know, train a child the way to go. You know, Bilikis Olabidaudu, good evening, my darling sister from Dublin, Ireland. Good evening. Welcome to Talktotomi. You know, thank you all for giving me the platform. And you see, I started with that music of Kiss Daniel for this topic because at the end of it, they actually introduced Christy Asian's Igbokwe tune of Omo mi ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Omo mi gbọ́ tèmi tí á dára o. You know, they actually introduced that beat, which really touched me. They were able to mix the old and the new, and it brought out a very fresh and nice tune there for Kiss Daniel. And as well, because we're talking about young people. You know, we as parents, are we really doing enough, you know, to protect our children from grooming? If anyone does not understand what I mean by pair grooming, please ask me. The number to call, Taufik is going to be pinning it on. It's +4474 5943 9917. Like I said, it's a short video. It's not a very long one. It's just to, you know, call our attention to things as they happen in our community. Aproko ni sister, you know me. I'm Aproko, Amebo, Kokonsa. You know, as I see things, I will not shut my eyes to them. I will mention it just so that we can talk about it amongst us, you know, my friends and brothers and sisters alike, uncles and aunties, daddies and mommies. You correct me where I may be wrong, and I will chip in for you as well. Jumoke Adegbayi, good evening. Welcome to Talktotomi. Thank you for tuning in and for joining us. In my opinion, we don't seem to be doing enough, because I've been to so many homes. I've seen relationship between parents. You may not want to see it because it's not a strictly Yoruba program, because it's a video that I like everyone to see, relate to, and be able to identify with. You know, let's take what is ours and ditch what may not be ours. Let us take responsibility on the topic we want to talk about. Pair grooming. I may not find the Yoruba word right away, but it will come to me. And luckily, Daddy John Ogunriola is on the thread. He can tell me what we may likely call it in Yoruba. I am talking about pair grooming, not group. Pair grooming. It is true we talk about pair grooming, you know, we talk about the processes, about how to save our children, but some of us are not taking actions. The government will come, the government will say things, do it this way, do what not, but the government do not reside in the homes with us. We reside in the homes. Ewudin, brother, me, respect. The government do not reside in our homes with us. Neither does the media. Neither does the media reside. The video is behaving funny. If it cuts, I'll start another one just so that we get to the bottom of it. But it's not a very long one. It's not Baribration, it's Talktotomi. Excuse me. This flu is still clearing off. You know, we cannot also leave things to government and say for the fact that we live in the diaspora, there's a system that probably works to an extent. We want to leave it all to the government. We cannot leave raising our children to government. You know, we cannot. Ishola Ade, welcome. Babami, welcome for joining us. I'm glad you're here on Talktotomi. You are a parent as well, and we've got to learn another. Like I said, the video is misbehaving. I may have to stop it at some point. Please stay tuned if I have to start another one, but we're still going. As well, there are a few organizations out there, you know, actually going onto the streets and helping to save young people's lives. But we as parents ourselves, what do we really do? How much do we do in saving all these black lives that are being, young black lives that are being lost, you know, being lost to knife crime, being lost to gangster warfare, being lost to, you know, intake of consumption of drugs and alcohol and whatnot. You know, young people will always be young people, especially when they start to border on the age of 15, 16, 17, 18 and upward, you know. Hello, Dr. Dapo Williams. Thank you. I stole a video from your wall earlier on today, the video of the new Nigerian ambassador when he was being driven to the palace. Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Dapo Williams. Oladile Latubosun. Good evening. The picture is not clear in dollars. Oh, wow. Like I said, if the video stops, I'll start another one, but I'll do it very, very quickly. I went on to say we do have a few organizations going to, you know, try to sensitize our streets and, you know, helping to save young people's lives. But the crux lies with us parents. Sister Ganiat Adejuma, welcome to Talktotomi. The crux lies with us as parents. I'm going to be pointing out, the line is breaking. Oh, let's see how it goes. We're still on the same number. If the numbers begin to drop and I actually see that the video is not doing great at all, I may have to call it. Thank you, sir, at Dr. Dapo Williams. Thank you very much. Yes, it is not Baribration. It is not a Yoruba program. It is a strictly English program, albeit I may add one or two Yorubas. I do not know what pair grooming is called in Yoruba. Anyone would know what pair grooming may be called in Yoruba. You can tell me and we'll look at it. Black fathers, I want to talk to you now. Fathers of black children. black boys especially, obviously boys and girls, but we colored fathers, you know, I want to please talk to you, listen to me, and possibly share it with your friends. Taufik Kodri, please share the video. Let them know that they can share it. Thank you, Taufik. I can see it's working perfectly on my computer and on the iPad as well. Thank you, Taufik. You know, fathers, for example, should take on the responsibilities of going out there. You know, I want to beg our fathers, our African fathers, be it Nigerian, Beninese, Ivorian, Togolese, Hajia Shakira Okoyemi Bello Bature Latifu. Oh, thank you for telling me it's better now. Thank you. You know, our fathers, our black fathers should endeavor to go. Please, I know you have engagement, you've got social engagements, you've got work engagements, and all other engagements that you seemingly may have on a regular basis. But the crux lies on us. The crux lies on us. Whether parent be together or parent are separated, please, I am begging. It is our thing to help our children, to save our children from the streets. This is not just coming up. I have seen, you know, a lot of things in the last few days, and this is what had brought this on. It is what had brought this about as well. And I can only but share it with my community, you know. If our fathers, for instance, can endeavor and form cell groups, you know, if you can form cell groups, you know, a cell group in South London, say Dulwich, Peckham, Woolwich, Plumstead, say in Kent, you know, if we can form cell groups, not just to play football, to wander around the parks, around our local parks. I don't know how this may apply to our friends in Nigeria, but honestly, in my mind, I think I am addressing the diaspora. But if you're listening from Nigeria and you think you a thing or two from it, please do not hesitate. You know, if our fathers can take time, a weekend or alternate weekends, to go to all the places that, do not say that you're an affluent family and you think, oh, your children go to, you know, private schools. Yes, my son goes to one, but, you know, it doesn't stop us. You know, as parents, we should, you know, make it a communal effort. We should, Ibitatiwa, they say a man gives birth to a child, but a village raises a child. That's what they say where we come from, isn't it? It's not enough for those that are affluent amongst us in our communities, in diaspora, to think, oh yes, because we are up there, the rest of our community do not matter. Hence, if we form cell groups, for instance, in our local communes, and we take it upon ourselves to visit parks, to visit basketball courts, to visit football pitches, and all the places where our young boys and girls do gather to participate in sports or to socialize. Or maybe they're having a party, and some of us parents come. There's a party they do in South London annually, for instance, and it's a very big party. Once that my child said he was going to attend, I actually went with them. Instead of going alone, taking it upon myself to go alone, we could do like a cell group where we're not going in there to intrude. We're not going to disturb their party, because here is a party that they do every summer, and I mean, the ages range from between 13, 14, 15, 16 to 18. You know, we could make a cell group, go there, sit in our cars, and just observe, just so that if God forbid there's anything, we can be on hand, instead of waiting for ambulances or other government departments to come and help our children, which before the ambulances arrive, it may be too late. But if we are there as parents, for instance, Some of us will just pack our children in the cars and say, you know what, this party is ended. We say to the organizers, this is ended. Thank you, Sister Rashida Ajibola Bale. Thank you very much for showing love. You know, if we endeavor to take it upon ourselves to go to where our children do hang out, it'll be a whole lot of help in curbing things like pair grooming, you know, how much more knife issues, drug issues, and other things alike. There are evidences, and in fact, eyewitness accounts. You know, there are eyewitness account reports from some fathers who actually are doing it already, but they are in the Caribbean communities. I found them in the Caribbean communities, which is why I am bringing it to my community, my African community. We can learn positive things from one another. We can learn good things from one another. We can denounce negative things, you know, between one another and say, you know what, bro, I don't think you're doing it the right way. Why don't you try another way and see how it goes? Thank you for that person showing the love. Some of these places, you know, when we go to, I realized from eyewitness accounts that on football grounds, basketball yards, courts, places that they go to party, thank you, Akim Alade, and other such venues alike, that the parents that took it upon themselves to go, they discovered knives that are being hidden away. They discovered that these kids, when they get there, they hide their knives and other things that they arm themselves with. Someone is sending a message to me. Hold on, I will not really like distraction. Oh God, please don't send a message. I just want to do it and get done with it, really. Oh, okay, all right, cool. Thank you for that message. Like I said, in some of these places that I had mentioned earlier, some parents actually found knives and machetes, and you know, the only thing they didn't find was a gun. And this is where our children go to. They go to the gym, they go to the football ground, they go to play basketball, they go to play other sports like rugby, cricket, and all these places they had found objects that they can use to harm themselves, just in case a fight broke out or something. Maybe there's a gang thing going on in that area. And lest we remember that the media and the government are not paying as much attention, especially in our communities. Believe me, they are not. The media will only want to report when a black boy died, because it'll make so much big news. Believe me, noise in the media when a black boy or girl has been, you know, their lives have been cut down, you know, with a knife or a gun, then they will make more noise on that than they will make if a black kid is excelling somewhere and doing well somewhere. That's not to say they don't do it. They do say it when some black kids are doing well, but the negative ones will make more noise, make more front covers than the positive news among our black communities will do. I know a whole lot of people are fighting that, you know, we keep doing what we have to do to get where we need to get to. And pair grooming in our black communities is actually something that we as black parents should look into, believe me. And if, just in case, working better now, okay, Taufik, thank you. Just in case you may not understand, let me put it simply. We need to stop closing eyes to certain things that our children do, whether up to the age of 18. We need closing eyes to our children coming home late from school. When they come late from school, they go to school in school uniform. They come back in very expensive clothing and accessories and trainers. And some parents will not ask the children where that came from. Come on. It's hard work, but we have got to do it just so that a network is disturbing. Ooh, blimey. Is it stable now, Ishalade? How is the network now? I don't know. Let me see. Give me a thumbs up, Taufik, if the network is a lot more stable. Cheers, everyone. Now it's okay. It's just not stable. It's working better in Lagos, Taufik. Thank you, my darling. You know, let's stop closing eyes to some of our children's actions. Bear with me. It's going to be very short. I'm going to stay in Walthamstow. Oh, wow. Daddy John Ogunrola, you may want to go to your laptop. It will be better if you watch your laptop. It will be better if you watch it on your laptop. So let's stop closing eyes to certain things. If our children, for instance, went to school in school uniform and they're coming back home in home clothing and their tracksuits, stable there a bit. Okay, they're coming back in expensive. Alaji Ismail Ademolade Shigmi, it's okay. We're getting the message all the same. Thank you, Alaji. Thank you so much, sir. You know, question your child. Do not be afraid of them. We're going to get to that in a bit. Do not be, I know the system says don't beat, you can't beat, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't be, you know, too firm, say maybe like the kind of upbringing that we had back home. You cannot exert such parental authority or such parental influence as the case may be. Yet it does not mean that we cannot talk to our children. The bottom line is communication and being friends with our children and letting them know that they matter to us much as we should matter to them. I mentioned that if they come back home, question them if they are wearing a cloth different to what you have bought for them. Because you are the parent. You are feeding and clothing them. If you see something strange on them, question it. You have every right to question it. You see a trainers that you didn't buy for them, question it. Oh, another message. Okay, Mr. Oladele Raim, I got your message. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Some children as well, I found out, will give their parents money. A child that is in school, a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old that's in college, 18-year-old that's in upper sixth form and is giving you money. You got to stop it if you're a parent doing it. If you're a parent, when you start to collect money from your teenage child, then what are you doing? You're selling authority. You're giving authority to him. You're telling him already that, listen, you're an adult. You're a big man. You can do your things. Rather, what we should encourage with our children is, you know what, son? We may not have too much. We may not have many, but the little that we have got, let us be happy with it. We need to train them from a very little age to understand that and to appreciate that we can just but do with what we have got. A parent that begins to take money from a teenage child, you already sold your parental authority at home away to the child. And you begin to lose some of the respect that you should earn naturally from your child. Honestly, it is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thing when I saw this, that a child will have more money than his or her parent. Where is he or she getting it from? The moment we observe that our children are having a certain amount of money above the amount of money that we give to them, that we make available to them, we need to question it. We need to question. It's not fighting. It's not shouting in the part of the world that we live in. Excuse me. It's not shouting. It's not fighting. It's not arguing. You sit them down and talk to them. You be firm with them. You affirm your position and authority as a parent. I don't know, it may not interest some of us, and if it doesn't, we may just have to go and do something else. Please, I don't want anyone to come in and disturb. I just want to pass it on, give it out, and we watch it in our quiet times, even if we may not be enjoying it. It's not about dancing. It's not a thing that anyone should be happy about. Really, rather, we should look for solutions amongst ourselves. We should support ourselves more. We should stand by one another, just so that our children can excel the way they should. Taufik, how is the state of the video? How is the video doing, Taufik? Please give me a... If we give our children pocket money and we find they are spending much more than we give them, we need to question it. We cannot be closing our eyes to what our children do. No, we cannot. We also should not allow things like, when children come to us and say, oh, they're going to parties out of town, we don't know where they're going. We say because they're, 16, 17, they're old enough, they can travel on their own, and we just let them go. That's not being a strict parent. It's just being careful, being a careful parent and a caring parent too. We need to ask questions. We need to know who they're going out with, lest we are leaving our children for the groomers. If you start to observe that your 15, 16, 17-year-old has got friends that are older than them, question it. Question it. I've got an 18-year-old, of course, who obviously have got friends that are 20 and 21. But I allow it because I know their parents, and I know that they had been a senior in secondary school and they are all now in university. There's some children like that. My son, for instance, hangs out with boys that are much older than him. But I know that we have had a relationship, some of them from kindergarten, from primary. But when we start to see our children with strangers as friends that are older than them, we got the right to question our children and even question the adult, lest that older person may be a groomer, grooming our children for negative things. Stable here. It is still, just want to read how it's doing from people. Please let me know if it's a lot more stable. We shouldn't be closing our eyes to when our children go too far away from home. We must question it. It's not enough to say, I'm going on a night shift. For me that worked night shift for so many years. Thank you, Sister Basira Balogun. Hello, Sister Balogun. It's not enough to say we must put measures in place. We must work hard to question what they're doing. That's not to say we're not giving them freedom. There's only a limited, amount of freedom that children should have. There's only a limited amount. Bear with me. I'm going to round up, soon. It's, it's just something that I've got to say it. I have seen things that, I just say, oh God, why all of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided if only we put in a bit more of ourselves as parents. I said to us that we should check when our children are hanging out with older friends, lest such older friends may be grooming our children. Honestly. Because some parents I found do not even care about the friends that their children keep. Oh, hello, Tunde. Oh, hello, Oscar. Oh, hello. Okay, all right. What are you guys up to? Oh, we're going to football, and that is it. And that is it. That is it. It shouldn't end like that. Just want to send the message quickly. Someone's just sent a message to me on the topic. Sorry. Okay, all right. That is that as it is. Believe me, there is no other people that will groom your child apart from the friends that he keeps. Someone that will groom your child, that will groom our children, will be someone that would have taken their time to befriend our children, to make friends with them. They will even bring them home. Like I said, not all parents, even here in diaspora, not all parents are affluent parents. What are we talking about? I said it one day. Even a kid who has got both parents, father and mother, they are both professors in the universities. Doctor of something, mother, father too, doctor of something. The boy attends a prestigious public school. We call, in the UK, we call the private schools public school. Attends a very top public school for boys. Yet, this young man was caught with drugs somewhere in Asia. It could be anything. It could be anything. I do appreciate also that some parents will try everything, and a child will still do whatever they want to do anyway. But will it not give us a lot more peace of mind if we see that, if we can convince ourselves that, oh well, you know what, this kid turned out the way he did, but you know what, as a parent I actually tried my best. It'll give us a whole lot of reprieve. God forbid something happens to any of our children. Yet, certain things happen. Certain things do happen, And if for whatever reasons it happens, we can be able to say, you know what, I really tried. I really, really tried. It was just meant to be. Not when we turn our eyes off, certain nefarious activities of our children, certain ill activities of our children. We must learn to speak up. We must learn to talk to them. Aja Islamia Bakadejo, you're welcome. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you, my sister. You're welcome. Sister Hajia Islamia Yabakadejo actually does a talk show on domestic violence. You may want to look her up on her page, Hajia Islamia Ayabakadejo. She has joined us. Have the honor of having her in our midst. Thank you, my sister, for joining us on Talktotomi. You should be concerned and look out for pair grooming. If your child, I'm going to list all of them. Thank you, Daddy John Oguriola. I trust you. We parents should not always see ourselves as parents, but we should see our children as friends and relate with them as of equal age. That time, we will know them in and out. Thank you, sir. You see, I was dancing earlier on and somebody was saying, oh, youthful. I dance what my child will dance. I'll dance to what my children dance. Whatever they dance with their friends, I dance with them. I want to listen to the kind of music they are listening to. I want to hear the wordings of the music they are listening to. I want to be able to check them on time and say, oh, you know what? This particular music, listen, this is what it is saying. This is what it is saying. It is not right here. It may not approach you any good listening to this kind of music. I won't stop you, but you try listening to that good one and you try listening to this. What do you deduce from either songs? We talk about things. Mr. Ganiola Delirain, thank you. We talk about things. You sit in their room, you talk to them. Yes, I said you should be really, really concerned and look out for peer grooming. If your child is between 14 and 15 and they are keeping friends that are 17 years old and above, you need to find out why. It's true I make friends from when I was little. I always make friends that are older than me. So some children may be disposed in the same manner. Some children may just be disposed in the same manner. But we still need to talk to them to find out, oh son, oh daughter, why do you choose to be friends with so? Mr. Afis Abari, my brother, thank you. Welcome from the United States. Ask questions. Constructive questions. Kunsheja, kunshariwo, you don't need to shout about it. We lose respect from our children sometimes because a whole lot of us, we want to bring the African thing and we insist on big. It doesn't work here. Reason it doesn't work is that they are not exposed to it. They are exposed to a system where they go to school and the teacher even speaks to them with respect. So when they come back home and they are seeing something else, it begins to mess up their brain. They begin to try to balance it, that come on, this is how, what I get in school. This is what I'm getting at home. And because we're there as parents to help them, to teach them, we got to explain to them. Ask questions. Darling, you're only 14 or 15, but I observe that your friends are 17, they're in. What is the common factor between you and such people? What is the attraction? Why is it that you chose to be with such age group of friends rather than being with people of your age group? That child, if we start to do that early on in time, that child will just be able to tell us, oh, mom, for so reason, he was my senior in school, he was very brilliant, and I thought he could help me with my schoolwork. Or we play football together, or we go to gym together, he motivates me. Sister Rashidat Ajibola Bale says, thank you, Mr. Ogunriola. I am glad that comes from a man of integrity like you. Some men just want to be authoritarian. It doesn't work. It does not work. Believe me. It does not work. I have said it before on Baribration. And maybe I'll just mention it again. I remember when I was a teenager and my dad insisted that I had to study a particular course as opposed to the one that I wanted to do. Our parents did it with us. And most of the time, in most homes, it didn't all go well. We shouldn't be repeating the same mistakes. It's true, we may say things like, oh, when you're in this house, it is Nigeria. When you're out there, it is England, or it's Canada, or it's Paris, or it's Holland, or it's Antwerp, or it's Bergen, or it's wherever we may be resident in the diaspora. But it doesn't work a lot of time. It doesn't work most of the time. My dad insisted I studied something that I did not want to study. And I remember I just floundered it. I just went like, you know what? If it makes you happy. And that was the attitude that I had towards that course, to the point that I've got my schoolmate on the thread when I was in high institution. And it cost me that I had to repeat a particular subject, mathematics.
I had to repeat it about 3 times. Not because I was a dullard. Not because I am not studious. Not because I am a student that lags behind. No, it's just because it's not something that I wanted to. I had no passion for it. I had no interest doing it, but I was forced to do it. I was forced to do it. So we should learn from all of this and not do, such again with our children. Mr. Afis Abari, so sorry, what was the topic for discussion? Seems I'm a little bit late. We're talking about peer grooming, how outsiders come in to groom our children, especially when we parents do not give due attention. Not only due, we have to go sometimes above board in helping our children. Sometimes it's really a push, I know. It is really a push sometimes from the part of parents. But hey, it's our responsibility. My darling Aulat Sulaiman Obadino, how's your husband and the children? Welcome to Talktotomi. You will catch up, don't worry. You will catch up. So that's what it is, Mr. Fisabari. When we're not doing enough, when we're not questioning our children enough, question them out of love, out of concern, not out of what is it called? Not out of the fact that you're not very happy that the father had left you, you had become a single mother, or the mother had left you, you had become a single father, and you're still harboring all those bitterness, and when you want to talk to the child, you're yelling at the child. The child did not bring about our separation. The children didn't bring about our separation. We must always have it at the back of our minds that when we talk to our children, we need to show a whole lot of love and concern. Let them know that we are actually talking to them as the mother or the father or as parents, that actually have their interest in our hearts. If you want to speak to your child, for instance, let it be private. Do not talk to your child very loudly in front of friends. Give it time. When it is just you and the children or you and the child, then you can begin to point out, if possible, if you think you may forget, write it down. Tonight, I'm going to speak with Mohammed Tajuddin about this, about that. Once I groom my child, an external groomer will not have time to groom him or her again. Exactly. Home grooming as opposed to peer grooming on the outside. Home grooming. Groom our children at home. Give them the necessary confidence that they need to leave this world out there. Give them that confidence to say to that person, that groomer outside who wants to give them £100 every week to buy trainers and other, all sorts of accessories just for the show off. Let's build their confidence from the home front. Then, if any groomer comes to them, they will know how to turn it off. Say even when we raise our children well, groomers cannot cannot come to them. Of course they can. Of course they can. Let us always watch out for the manner of language that our children speak in when they become teenagers. One day I saw a message thread from a friend and my child, and I just said to him, I said, I do not like the way this friend was communicating with you on WhatsApp. The languages he was using, they're not particularly a good one. You may want to talk to him that your mom came across your phone and your mom saw your conversation, and this is what feels about the manner in which you two were conversing. Hello, sister. There's some area that I want to go to as well. I do see a lot of school children that walking around when they leave school. Are they not having parents at home? These are the things I'm talking about. If a child is being well groomed at home, as soon as he finishes school, his mind is about getting home and spending time at home. His mind will just be set to going home and going to spend time at home, going to rest, going home to tea in the evening time. Of course, they do have parents, but who knows? Maybe some of us, because we had been separated from the parent, or because we're having from either parent, or because we're having issues in our marriage, we become, really nonchalant towards the upbringing of our children, which is wrong. We need to always be conscious of that. I'm not saying that we should not have a life because we're raising children, but it takes a whole lot of work. Like I said earlier, a man gives birth to a child, a village raises a child, which is why I said, I came up with that suggestion that as parents in diaspora, we could possibly form cell groups. We need to, this is what we talk about all the time. We need to talk to ourselves more. All of this show off in our communities, somebody showing off to the other, we should ditch it and concentrate rather on important things that will be beneficial to us as families, and especially to our children. Let us form cell groups. From borough to borough, from street to street, from area to area. This is the school our children are going. Let's form a cell to support them. Okay, Mr. Gani Oladele Rahim, I'll talk about that just after this. This will be finishing soon, Anna. I'll go into that. Also, look out for this. When you are talking to your child about a particular friend or some friends, and your child begins to get angry. Now I am telling us the kind of things. Mommy, please, can I have this video to share on my WhatsApp, because it's not all parents that are on Facebook. I would love to replay this video to my people in the mosque. Oh yeah, obviously you can, I don't know. I'll see how we can go about that, my darling Aulad. I'll see how we can do that now, just so that I am not completely distracted. Ami Okomi, Ami darling me, thank you. When you talk to your 14, 15, 16-year-old, you're saying to them, your friend, like I was saying about saying something, a conversation of my sons and a friend, he just said to me, oh really, mom? Oh, it's the language we use between us young people. I insisted. I said, yes, I understand it is the language you use, but I did not send you to school to use that language. And I'm seeing it for the first time. So you want to speak to your friend, and I want your friend to come here. I want to speak to her as well, as a mother. Sister Islami Abakadejo, being emotionally connected with the children and creating time for them builds their confidence and limits their inhibitions. Thank you. Mr. Gani Oladele Rahim, thank you. Thanks. You always make happiness to everyone, and happiness will never fail in your house and family as well. Ami. When the friend of my son now came, I had the friend come over. I said, call that friend. Call that friend. And in the nicest of ways, I'm like, oh, you know what? I came across, I also tried to present it to the friend as though my son is not a mommy's boy. It's just unfortunate for the two of them that, Yes, I do check my child's phone. Yes, it's good to check their things, their room, everything they do, the school bag. Yes, I do. Hands up. You know? And I said to the friend, you know, darling, I was just going through, you know, he'd left his phone in the bathroom, and, you know, typical of parents, I just go through, you know, and I have the code to his phone. I have the code to my son's phone. I'll just take it. Pam, pam, pam. We had gotten over all of that. That we have to have the code to our phones. God forbid you need to do, there's a state of emergency and you need to do something for me in my phone. Or vice versa. Sister Bello, what is the topic? Sister Kubra Bello, you'll get a grasp of it as we go on. Believe me. Sister Rashida Ajibola Bale, another thing is the pursuit of world and forgetting to make our children first priority. Sometimes it seems too harsh when they tell them that they have no business having children. Maybe some people should not have children. I don't know. I don't know. Because if you choose to make children, you must be ready to do the job. It's a whole lot of hard work. Believe me. It is a whole lot of hard work. But we can make it easier for ourselves when from the beginning, we make, you know, the relationship, the parent and child relationship a very good one. Like I said, it's not shouting. I don't need to shout back. It's just to say, you know what, darling, I don't think that's right. What do you think that's going to bring to you if you do it? Tell me. Talk to them. Communicate with them. This thing you want to embark upon, what likely pros and cons do you think they may have? We'll sit down and talk it together. We dialogue together. So once you're talking to a child about a friend and they begin to be like, oh no, mom, yeah, mom, what, you hate my friends, you know, why don't you like my friends? Just calm down. Let the child roar. Calm down. It takes a whole lot of exercise. When they're a lot calmer, you try and raise it again. Son or daughter, I am not attacking your friends personally. I am just a concerned parent who would like to know who my children or my child is going out with, is being friends with, what kind of things you're engaging in. I have a right as a parent to know all of that. And you see, the children in diaspora as well, they know that there are parental rights and they know where their boundaries lie. Honestly, they do know. Some of them even read more than we do. They know what applies. They know what they can do at a certain age. Yes, some people can say, oh, if you talk to your children, they will go to social services. You know what? Me, I'll say pack your things and go to the social services yourself. But it's not like I've experienced it. I'm just saying. I've seen people say to me they cannot even talk to their 4, 5, 6 years because they threatened that they were going to report them at school and they were going to involve social services. So if your children are moving, being friends with boys or girls that are quite older than them, question it, but mind the way you question it. Let them know the reason you're questioning it. We don't just throw questions, don't do this. If you don't give them the reason behind it, they may just not understand. You got to make them realize that, listen, so thing there, so thing applies. It may be this, it may be that. You talk to each other. I know some parents say, Olomaje, Omotimobi, Omotimobi, my own child. Then I'll sit him down. I'll be dialoguing with him. But you know what? If you do not dialogue, God forbid that you will be doing something worse in the near future. God forbid you will be doing something worse in the near future. Peer pressure is paramount within the youth of today. Some behave differently outside as to when in the house, living outside when things happen. Yet, it borders on communication. It borders on looking out for what our children are doing. Some may call it monitoring. I don't mind. It borders on, putting in a whole lot of ourselves to, not in a bad way, but just to find and let them know that you're looking out for them and that you're looking out for them in a positive way. That way, believe me, if we have groomed our children right at home, peer groomers on the outside will not have a way. Sister Rashidat says we just need to be honest with ourselves when it comes to children. The issue of having children is overrated in Africa. When people don't have what it takes and they are less interested in what happens with the children. Thank you, my sister. When your child starts defending, when you question your child about certain friends or a particular friend, and your child, son or daughter or children generally start to, defend them unnecessarily, take one or two things from it. Hold it. When they're a lot calmer, and be like, oh, is there a reason you were all out defending your friend? Would you like to tell me the reason? You know what, son? It wasn't a personal attack at your friend's person. It was just something I observed, an action or whatever between the two of you, and I thought as a parent I should mention it. There are many contributive factors. Upbringing within both parents matters. We should regard them as continuity of our lifestyles. We shouldn't allow our children to be affected for whatever reasons that might have separated us, using abusive language, immorality, illegitimate, indecent exposure. Most of these are major contributive factors. Yes, you say it well. You say it well, my brother Afisa Barry. Seriously, we need to stop allowing our children to be in control of us, control of our homes, because of the social services thing, especially in diaspora. Some parents automatically just give all authority to children, thinking they cannot even talk. But hey, it doesn't work like that. You have a parental right. You have a parental right to talk to your child. The fact that you spoke to your child will not necessarily mean that you're just as soon as your child goes to involve social services, that is it. You're a goner. No. You're going to relate your side of the issue. And if we have anyone that has such children who thinks they threaten parents with social services, you just say to them, you know what, tó bá débẹ̀, cold beans na mama fún ẹ jẹ. Tó bá dé lọ, tó bá padà wálé mi pé ó fẹ́ jẹ oúnjẹ gbígbóná, má sọ fún ẹ pé kó padà síbi tó ti wá. Sometimes we need to be firm as well. Sometimes we need to show some tough love. I observed that a lot of us had given we're giving too much control to our children. A whole lot of children nowadays have too much control. Too much control. They think they can do whatever they like, especially when they're approaching 18 as well. They have control over their own lives. And we as parents, we sit back thinking, oh, well, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. No, it may just not be okay. It may not just be okay. We parents are like bakers. If we passionately create time and fully bake our children at home, they will not be half-baked. But the moment you turn them out half-baked, surely they will fall into the hands of unprofessional bakers who will surely overbake them, and if care is not taken, they may be baked to burn. The network is really bad, unfortunately, and this is a very important topic. Oh, I'm so sorry. What a shame. I don't know what to do. Let me see. Oh, blimey. I really don't want to stop as well. I just want to get it out so that it doesn't. Oh, well, oh no, but we seriously, we can't just leave it to that. We have a whole lot of work to do as well. It's just not enough to say Bawatomo. I see what it is. It's coming off and going off like that. It's in fact still here. Anyway, let's get out the message. Give me a thumbs up, please, if the audio is okay. As long as the audio is we shouldn't sit back saying that the children are big and we allow them to go free. These kind of things are wrong. We just allow them, parties anyhow, or go to friend's house to sleep anyhow. They go out there and pick up a whole lot of things, a whole lot of negative things that will truncate all the good and positive efforts that you may have been putting at home to raising wonderful children. Not just for you, it's not only for us, for themselves. Children that will be very useful to themselves in the near future. I'm going to say this. Your children are your children. My children are my children. Yeah. And you have to take control from them now. If you're at a point that your child is in control, believe me, you need to take control back from that child, especially a teenage child for that matter. You've got to get control back from that child. Excuse me. Cheers, everyone. It's Dr. Pepper. Listen to this. You are the one feeding that child or the children. You are the one clothing them. For that alone, you get mouthed. You get mouthed, Pap. It is for us to say, oh no, this is the right way to tread. This is the wrong path to tread as well. Mr. Fisabari, unfortunately, the network was really bad. This was an important topic, exceptionally important, because it matters how the children will be raised for future generation of our country in at large. Unfortunately so. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Remember, like I said when I started, the media are only interested in when the death of a black kid occurs. Believe me. They will make all the noise and say, oh, the MP has gone there to see the parent. Oh, the parent has been invited to the Houses of Parliament. But that does not bring our children back. That does not bring back the lives of all our young children that are being cut short. That doesn't bring their lives back. It doesn't. My baby says parents should realize that we are their mirror, but they are our reflection. What you see in your children is what you are, which is bitter truth. The media you'll find, they do not want to cover, the fact that they sometimes want to cover the fact that there are good black kids. When you read the paper on a regular basis, I read the Daily Mail. That's my paper on a regular basis. And if a black kid is doing good, you don't find it as much on front pages and whatnot. But say black boys have, they're engaged in riots somewhere in whatever place it may be, something farm or whatnot. It'll be all over the media. I stand to be corrected if anyone has got a diverse opinion from mine. But this is my opinion. This is what I think. You know, if anyone's got a divergent opinion, they can please raise it and we talk about it. We cannot leave our children for government and for media. The only thing they want to show our children do is, oh, there's an album, oh, he released the record, oh, he did this, he scored something in football. Maybe that they will publish. But when they're really good academically, they don't make, or professionally, as the case may be. This book, like I always say, it could be a very successful black plumber. It won't make the headlines. You will read about them in local newspapers, Dulwich Hamlet newspaper or Peckham Pulse newspaper or something. It will make the national dailies very quickly. It will take a whole lot of time before they make headlines. But say a black kid, boy or girl, had been stabbed to death, it will make headlines the following morning or immediately that evening, if there are still newspapers to come out in the evening. So you see, we have a whole lot of job on our hands. The paper wants to cover only the negativity. Let us do the positive ourselves. Let us raise our children. Let us support our children to be raised positively, so positive can be reported about them. There's a big issue of pre-grooming. You know, all these guys that they are older, they see our children coming back from school, they accost them. As well, when our children are not emotionally stable, these groomers, they know. When a child is not happy at home, they know. That's why I said earlier that regardless of whether parents are separated or you're having issues in your marriage, always hold forth when it comes to the children. Because once the child is not happy, the groomer on the outside will observe it. And such children, they are the target. They target such children especially. Let's look out for things like trainers in our children, boy or girl. Let's begin to look out for what manner of trainers. Are they trainers that we can afford to buy for them? If they're wearing 350 trainers, trainers, we question it. Whereas if I have bought maybe a Polo Ralph Lauren trainers or whatever for my son that is £90, and I see my son in a 350 Fendi trainers, I will ask questions and say, okay, whoever gave it to you, let's go and give it back to them. It is not your birthday, it is not Christmas, and even if it is Christmas, why should they think at your age what you should be wearing is a £350 shoe? Let us ask questions. Let us be firm. Let us be resolute at times and stand our grounds that we do not want this with our children. If we do such early in time, the groomers will run away. They will move away from our children. They will just be like, oh no, this is not one of the children we want. And in doing it as well, I said, we don't need to present it as though, oh, he's a mommy's boy, where when he goes to school the next day, they will have to be taunting him. No, we just stand as parents, be firm, and resolve that, no, we do not want this. Let's look up for money. When we're finding too much money with our children, let's question it. Let's begin to question and talk and help our children to see the reason, the need for them not to hold on to too much money at their current age, because they will not know what is the use for it. Let us look out for older friends. I'm listing all the things we need to look out for to avoid pair grooming of our children. Let's look out for whether our children carry knives. Believe me, a whole lot of black kids carry knives. A whole lot. You can Google the figures. You can Google the figures. A whole lot of them do. Let us always search their rooms on a regular basis. Sometimes we just be like, I want to help tidy your room. Let's tidy your room together. Or when they're not there, we go behind the bed, under the pillow, inside the pillow, in their wardrobes, in their, whatever it is they have, their sports, their crossbody bags, their wallets. But please don't scream if you look into your 17 or 18-year-old son's purse and you find condom. It's a normal thing. Don't raise the roof and start making noise. Still, you talk to them to find out what exactly they're doing. A whole lot of them do carry condoms. Let's be realistic. That's the system they are born into and they are being raised in. Condom is introduced to them from a very young age. So don't raise the roof and let all hell break loose because you find your son is in college and you find what did I call it, condoms in their purse. Just talk. Try to know what they're doing. Try to know what they're using it for. Using it. Communicate with your child. Always do everything to ensure that your child is stable emotionally. Your child goes out there, he or she is a strong person, and your child will stand like that in front of anybody. Arms akimbo and can talk to anybody. Not when the child is cowering, he's coming home, he's like this, he's all drooling, his head is drooling. They pick that up on time. They pick up such things on time from our children. They stay somewhere, they observe him going home every evening after school. They observe him going home, and before you know it, they accost him one day and be like, oh, yo, fam. That's how they call themselves. Hey, yo, fam. Family, boys, especially boys' language. I'm always in the midst of a lot of boys. Hey, yo, fam. Were you looking all dowdy? What's the matter? And that is it. One thing will lead to another. Well, you don't worry about your mom. If your mom can't provide money for you to buy sneakers, trainers, I can buy it for you. And the kid will be like, whoa. They start from buying chicken and chips for them. They start from buying chicken and chips. Once somebody had offered my son chicken and chips, and he said, you know what, it's not even long I started going to school on my own, and I don't eat chicken and chips. I eat gourmet burger chicken, which will cost about £17 in a go, just to push the person away, just to be able to say to the person, you know what do you want to give me that I cannot get from home? By the time he's saying to him that, you know what, one seat I eat a burger is 16, 17 pounds, just to push him away. It's not like he eats it all the time. But it's because that's the way he's been taught. I'm saying repeatedly, groomers will work on our children's emotions. That's the psychology of it. That is the thing in it. They look out for that bit. Emotions. How stable is the child at home? The moment they find that child is not very stable emotionally, bam, they go for him, and that's it. God help we do not lose our children to pair groomers. They are everywhere. They're lurking around. They want them to sell drugs. They want them to carry knives for them. They want them to run errands for them. They want them to run errands of credit card, whatnot, all sorts of fraud. They are everywhere. I am in the midst of them all the time. Young boys, college and university boys. I am talking to them every day. We're listening to music every day. We're eating, cooking, baking cake together. I don't know how to bake cake. They bake their things, and I eat it the way they do it. Last night they made some, 3 of them were in the kitchen. They made some wishy-washy rice, like fosho rice like that. We all had to eat it like that. But I was listening to them. When they're talking, I am listening. I don't just leave them. I am listening. I'm Moketi. I am listening. They will go into our children's head and they will make them believe that they are there to support them. And once a child does not have a support network at home, that's it, that child will follow them. He will fall, and God help us that we're able to that the child is able to retrace their step and come back home to their parents. Let's leave it with this. If we are not there to help our children, peer groomers will help our children. If we are not there to groom our children at home positively, peer groomers are outside, they will groom them. We need to do a lot more. We need to question them more, albeit lovingly, with a whole lot of concern. Let them see the genuineness of us asking them questions. That's the point I've come to talk to you about tonight. It's Talktotomi, and we do it. We shall be going again with Case Daniel's song. I'll read some comments. I have finished. I have dished it all out. Like I said, it's a short video. Honorable Olamilekun, evening, good evening. Gaddafi Mohammed, good evening, my darling brother. You're at work. Well done. Your God gave you, oh wow, bless this, your Brazilian boss. Gaddafi Mohammed Issa's boss in Brazil. If you're watching me and listening to me, I thank you so very much. It's good as well that you're mixing with Nigerians and you're seeing how we come across. I am really, really thankful to this Brazilian gentleman. I have got a brother of mine. Each time he needs to watch my live chat and he seeks permission from his employer will give him 30 to 40 minutes to watch the live chat. If you're watching me, Gaddafi, next time if you tell me his name, I'll call him by his name. I do not like to use words like somebody or that person. But the gentleman who is Gaddafi Mohammed Issa's employer at work in Brazil, I thank you all so very much. With my Nigerian friends, we thank you so much for doing that for our brother. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. That is it for the night. Yes, I really thank him. I appreciate the fact that he gives you 30, 40 minutes to watch the live chat from time to time. We're going to be going away as well. Let's sleep over it. I have said it the way I know to say it. I am sorry. I may not have said it all correctly, but like I said, you can add to it or you can remove from it. And Mr. Rahim, Mr. Ghani, Rahim, you said something about when children close from school and they don't go home. Unfortunately, it's midnight. I was meant to finish by midnight. I have got to attend to some family issues. I have got to love and leave you now with Kiss Daniel's new song. It's really doing my head in now in a very positive manner. I'm really enjoying it because it's a very positive song. You know, I listened to it with my boys. We're enjoying it, and I hope you all will enjoy it too. Shout out to Kiss Daniel. It is life, I know like trouble, oh. It's another man's struggle, oh. Money go day tomorrow. Feel good, it's a happy night. Pepe, 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 pepe. No go they do pass yourself. Pepe, 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 pepe. No go they do pass yourself. Loud, loud. You don't get money, you won't do loud, loud. Yanga go wake up. Don't do today, forget tomorrow. feels good. It's a happy night. It's a good song to listen to in the morning. You know, it's a really good song. You know, where tomorrow morning you can listen to it as you're driving to work, or you know, on your break or something. I've been listening to it. I've listened to it more than 300 times, I must say. You know, I'm really into it. Thank you, Kiss Daniel, for bringing this out. Pass yourself, baby, solo, peperi, peperi, pepe. No go, they do pass yourself. See, make a move. Me say go make am too. I no come chop banku. Yeah, yeah. Lonja mu ẹ̀dá o. Ẹ̀dá ṣeun rere tí á dára o. Peperipe, peperipepe. Pass yourself. Peperipe, peperipepe. Dekule, no go dey do pass yourself. Ṣàánú. Anyway, it's called No Do. The song is called No Do by Kiss Daniel. I've been listening to it with my son and his friends and cousins, and we have been enjoying it. I hope you make time to enjoy it too. Let's support our own Kiss Daniel. That's my boy. I call him my son. Actually, if wishes were horses, isn't it? We all ride, but I'm happy with what I got. I just like him. He has a very, very mannerful demeanor, you know, for a young, successful man, for a young man that's successful. He's got a very, you know, very positive demeanor, very mannerful. That's what I like about him. And I like his songs too, Ojo and all whatnot. I know all of his songs. Thank you very much for listening to me. I'm going to be loving and leaving you all. Hopefully in your quiet time, you can watch the video again, share it with your friends. I'll be putting it on YouTube on my page, Talktotomi. Please like my page or subscribe to my page on YouTube, Talktotomi, Talktotomi, Talktotomi. Talktotomi. You'll see a whole lot of my videos on there. You know I'm your home girl. You know how I do it, ruggedy, you know, no show off, nothing. I just bring it out the way that it is. We have all enjoyed the live chat tonight, and we'll be watching it again, share it with our friends, like I said. And if you need to feed me anything on the video, please do not hesitate. Come back to me, inbox me. My page is there, and we shall be able to talk about it. I'll see you again tomorrow on Vibration with Aulad. Thank you all so very much. Let's all go and have a lovely night. God bless us as we go to sleep. And may the angels of God, you know, watch over us while we sleep and wake us tomorrow to a lovely and fulfilling day. Thank you all so very much.